Cooper Flagg is only a freshman at Duke, but how many 17-year-old players can come in and straight up cook Olympians? Even LeBron James said he was impressed by Cooper's performance this summer.
The shocking truth about 2025's top NBA draft picks. Cooper Flagg's Dominion. The 2025 NBA draft is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in years. And at the center of it all is Cooper Flagg, a player so dominant that teams are already planning their futures around him. But what makes Flagg different from past number one picks? And is he really a once-in-a-generation talent, or is the hype getting out of control? Well, let's break it all down. Who is Cooper Flagg? Cooper Flagg isn't just another top prospect. He's the kind of player that NBA scouts have been drooling over for years. Born in Newport, Maine on December 21, 2006, he grew up in a basketball-loving family. His mother, Kelly Bowman, was a college basketball player at the University of Maine, and from an early age, it was clear Cooper had inherited more than just a love for the game. He had the skills to dominate it. He first started making national headlines at Nokomis Regional High School, a small school in Maine that had never been known as a basketball powerhouse. That changed the moment he stepped on the court. As a freshman, he averaged 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, 6.2 assists, and 3.7 blocks per game, leading his team to its first ever Class A state championship. His ability to dominate on both ends of the floor wasn't just impressive, it was historic. By the end of that season, he was already being compared to elite prospects, and it became obvious that Maine was too small a stage for his talent. Realizing he needed tougher competition, he transferred to Monteverdi Academy in Florida, one of the most prestigious high school programs in the country. Monteverdi had produced NBA stars like Cade Cunningham, Ben Simmons, and Scotty Barnes, and Flagg wasted no time proving he belonged in that elite company. Playing against the best high school talent in the country, he continued to shine, showing off his elite defensive instincts, playmaking ability, and a level of basketball IQ that set him apart. His sophomore year at Monteverdi saw him average 16.2 points, 7.1 rebounds, 3.9 blocks, and 3.5 assists per game, all while shooting efficiently from the field. By the summer of 2023, Flagg was already being talked about as the best high school player in the country. He dominated at the Nike EYBL Peach Jam, an event loaded with top-tier talent, where he averaged 25.4 points, 13 rebounds, and 6.9 blocks per game. Numbers that were simply unheard of for a high schooler playing at that level. When it came time to choose a college, he had every top program in the country fighting for him. But for him, the decision was easy: Duke. The Blue Devils had a history of producing NBA-ready talent, and Flagg's skill set fit perfectly within their system. On October 30, 2023, he made it official. He would be heading to Durham, North Carolina, to play for John Shire and the Duke Blue Devils. This commitment only fueled the hype even more. NBA scouts were now looking at Flagg not just as a top recruit, but as the future number one overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. His defensive dominance, ability to handle the ball like a guard, and knack for making winning plays had executives believing he was a franchise-changing talent. But what makes Cooper Flagg the clear favorite for the number one pick? What separates him from the other top prospects in his draft class? Let's break it down. The case for Flagg as the number one pick. You see, there's a reason Cooper Flagg has been the undisputed favorite to go number one in the 2025 NBA draft. It's not just hype. It's the way he dominates games in a way few prospects ever have. NBA teams aren't just looking for talent. They're looking for a player who can change the trajectory of a franchise. Flagg checks every box and then some. If there's one thing that separates him from every other top prospect, it's his defense. Defense isn't usually what gets a player ranked as the number one pick, but with Flagg, it's different. He's not just good defensively, he's a legitimate game wrecker. Standing 6'9" with a reported 7-foot wingspan, he has the size to guard bigs, the quickness to switch onto perimeter plays, and the instinct to make plays that leave opponents frustrated. His rim protection is elite, something you rarely see from a forward who isn't a traditional center. At Monteverdi Academy, he averaged nearly 4 blocks per game while consistently altering shots without even making contact. He has an uncanny ability to anticipate when a shot is going up, timing his jumps perfectly. Just look at this.
Shoot it. Turned into an air ball pass. Could have been an assist. Cooper Flagg says, get that out of here.
His defense IQ is so advanced that it often looks like he's reading the offensive plays before they even happen. He's now being compared to the likes of Kevin Garnett and Draymond Green, two players who built Hall of Fame careers on defense dominance. Like them, he brings a level of intensity that fuels his teammates. He doesn't just block shots, he communicates. He rotates the right time, and he takes pride in making stops. He understands coverages, angles, and spacing better than players 5 years older than him. It would be easy to call Flagg a defensive specialist, but that would be selling his offensive game short. He's not just an elite defender, he's a three-level scorer with real versatility. His shooting has taken huge strides, especially from deep. At Monteverdi, he shot over 35% from three, showing confidence as both a spot-up shooter and off the dribble. His moves are smooth, and his ability to shoot over defenders at his size makes him a dangerous scoring option. But his offense isn't just about shooting. He can handle the ball in transition, attack the rim, and even operate as a secondary playmaker. His court vision is underrated, and that's what makes him such a unique prospect. Unlike many bigs who rely solely on post-ups or pick-and-roll finishes, Flagg can initiate offense. He's comfortable making reads, finding open teammates, and running an offense in short bursts. He plays with a controlled aggression, never forcing bad shots and always making the right decision. Raw talent isn't enough to make someone the number one pick. The NBA is filled with players who had potential but never reached it. What separates him is his mentality, his drive, leadership, and competitive fire. Coaches and teammates rave about how he sets the tone every single game, whether it's diving for loose balls, calling out defensive assignments, or refusing to back down from anyone. He plays with an edge that NBA teams love. With his defense, offensive versatility, and leadership, he seems like a lock for the top pick. But every draft has challengers. Could another player emerge and threaten his number one status? Let's look at his competition. The competition. Who could challenge Flagg? Cooper Flagg might be the favorite to go number one, but that doesn't mean the competition isn't heating up. The 2025 NBA draft class has some serious talent, and while Flagg has been the clear frontrunner, a few players have the tools to make their case. If any of them can put together an explosive college season, the debate for the top pick could get interesting. If there's one player in the draft class who can match Flagg's pure athleticism, it's VJ Edgecombe.
Deal for Joshua Jonwinna. VJ Edgecombe, my goodness. That's dagger jump view.
Poor guy gets in the game. Welcome to the game, Joe. Welcome to the game.
At 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan, Edgecombe is a ridiculous athlete who plays above the rim and thrives in transition. He's one of those players who can turn a simple, fast break into a highlight reel dunk, and his explosiveness makes him a nightmare to defend. But he's not just an athlete. His skill set has developed fast. At Baylor, Edgecombe has shown a much improved jumper, and scouts are taking notice. His three-point shot has become a legitimate weapon, and if he continues to knock them down consistently, his stock will skyrocket. Last season, he shot around 35% from deep while showcasing a quick first step and the ability to create his own shot. Defensively, he has the potential to be elite. His length and quickness allow him to guard multiple positions, and he's already a disruptive force in passing lanes. NBA teams love guards who can both score and defend at a high level, and Edgecombe fits that mold perfectly. The biggest question is whether he can become a more polished playmaker. Right now, he's more of a scoring guard than a facilitator, and NBA teams may want to see more from him in terms of running an offense. If he proves he can be a primary creator, he could force his way into the number one conversation. He has basketball in his blood. As the son of five-time NBA champion Ron Harper, he grew up around the game, and it shows in the way he plays. At 6'6" with a strong frame, he has the size and skill set of a modern NBA guard, and scouts love how polished he is. Harper is the best playmaker of the top prospects. He's a true combo guard, capable of running an offense while also being a dangerous scorer. At Rutgers, he's been the team's go-to guy, displaying a mix of smooth ball handling, excellent court vision, and a knack for finishing through contact. His passing ability separates him from most scorers. He makes quick, smart decisions and rarely forces bad shots. Dylan Harper's offensive game already looks polished enough for the NBA.
Season pick for SEC Player of the Year. Harper goes strong and finishes.
Seems and score, and then Harper, you said it best. Go right, go left, doesn't matter. He still can take it.
He's got the size, skill, and poise to step onto a court and contribute right away. But while his scoring and playmaking make him a top prospect, there are still questions about his defense. He's strong enough to hold his own, but his lateral quickness isn't on the same level as someone like VJ Edgecombe. If he sharpens his defensive awareness and consistency, some scouts believe he could end up being the safest pick in the draft, a player with a high floor and a game built to last in the league. Outside of Harper and Edgecombe, there's a few other prospects who could shake up the top of the draft if they have breakout seasons. Isaiah Evans, a 6'7" sharpshooter from Duke, has elite scoring instincts and a deep three-point range. If he improves his defensive intensity, he could easily slide into the top 3. Ace Bailey, a 6'9" forward committed to Rutgers, is another name to watch. He's an explosive athlete with a natural scoring touch, and if he dominates college competition the way some expect, his draft stock could skyrocket. Then there's Tyler Betsy, a 6'8" wing from UConn, who has a smooth shooting stroke and the ability to defend multiple positions. If he becomes more aggressive offensively, teams looking for a high upside two-way player will take notice. Despite the talent at the top of this draft class, he still stands alone. His two-way dominance, leadership, and versatility put him in a different category, for now. But things can change. If Edgecombe explodes offensively, or if Harper refines his defensive game and takes over at Rutgers, the number one conversation might not be as set in stone as it seems. What do you think? Is he the next NBA superstar, or will someone else rise to challenge him for the number one spot? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.